Hello, I'm Bernie,
I'm Abbie.
and we are here to celebrate Aniridia Day.
This year's theme is overcoming barriers. We've separated our interviews into two separate videos.
Just because we thought it made more sense and they were a bit long.
Yeah,
as always. So I'm going to interview Abbie, and she's going to tell us all about what she's been doing over the last couple of years. And so I'll get going. Abbie, what do you do?
So I'm a occupational therapy student at York St John. I'm just finished my second year, about to go in my third year.
That's great, Abbie. What inspired you to start doing the course?
So originally, I did 5 years of college because I had no idea what I wanted to do. Didn't really feel like I could do anything. My sister suggested occupational therapy, and you know when like a family member suggests something, you're like, nah.
And your sister is quite bossy.
Yeah, so I was like, yeah. Then I kind of came across it kind of more, and I kind of looked into it a bit more, and I thought, actually, I think I could possibly do this. So I did more research, and I thought I couldn't do it because I thought I needed more A-levels because I did a lot of BTECs. And then I found some courses that allowed you to do it without A-levels. So then I went forward with it.
Okay. And did you think that having a sight condition would stop you at any stage?
Having Aniridia or being visually impaired helped me to put my point across on my interviews on why I should do OT, because I had to make a lot of adaptations myself in my own life, so I kind of know kind of the concept of making adaptations and how much a little thing can make a big difference. My prime example of this is when I was on placement, I was in a neurological rehab centre. There was many people who had had strokes, and we had one patient who was struggling to put his socks on in the morning, and he kept putting them on upside down. And we literally just changed his socks to the ones that have colours on the heel and on the toes, and so then he knew which way to put his socks on, and that made him be able to be independent when putting his socks on.
That's brilliant. I love that one. When you started your course, was there anything that you were particularly looking forward to?
I didn't really know what to expect, to be honest, because obviously I hadn't done anything in OT before. I wasn't really sure what to expect, and even with like the uni life, I tried to kind of put myself out there when I started so that I made friends and didn't kind of close myself in and isolate myself.
Did you feel that you had to make more of an effort to do that, or do you think that comes naturally to you?
I felt like I had to make more of an effort than other people, and I purposely went on Facebook and I found people who were joining at the same time as me so that I knew that I could make contact with them before I came.
So did you find that little bit of planning ahead helped you?
Yeah, definitely.
And do you think it was important to do that?
Yes.
Good. So what is your favourite part of being at university and doing your occupational therapy course?
I really enjoy the course is split into like part coursework and then part practical placement. And the practical placement is what I enjoy the most because I'm quite a practical person, and that I learn a lot better that way than kind of the theory.
So when you're doing your practical stuff, do you like the practical side of being at university as well, like getting drunk or hanging out with your friends?
Yes, definitely. And I do a lot of drinking.
What's new there with a university student?
I'm very much
and falling over.
Typical uni student.
What happens when you get drunk? Does your blindness get in the way?
When I get drunk, I'm actually convinced that I don't need to use my cane, convinced that I don't need help.
Warning. This is not advised.
No. Don't do it.
But this is what happens.
I have walked into polls straight after saying I don't need my cane. So.
But she's still here and she survived, and I'm sure she's learned a lesson. Yes. I don't need to tell her that. So, Abbie, what have you found a particular challenge in doing your course?
I found applying quite difficult with student finance because they just weren't very, like, how would you put it?
Communicative.
Yeah, communicative. That word that I can't say.
Not very visually impaired friendly.
Yeah. And then
it
also,
should be when it works though.
Yeah.
But it isn't working. It's kind of broken at the moment.
And then kind of knowing which uni to go to, because I didn't know which ones were going to kind of be more accessible and stuff. So I did find because my course had an interview, I found having the interview useful to be able to judge that. There was other unis that I had interviews for and they just weren't very good at getting like the PowerPoint sent to me in advance and things like that, where the university I'm now at was really good at that. So I kind of took that as a good judgment.
And you get a good vibe, don't you, from things like that?
Yeah, definitely.
Brilliant.
Another challenge I had was wearing PPE during COVID, because my kind of physical reactions, my body just does not like it. I go all dizzy and sick.
So have you found ways of overcoming these things?
So I find that wearing a visor instead of a face mask helped me. And then thankfully a lot of my placement and my lectures were online, so I was able to kind of avoid that by having it all online.
Lovely. So anything else that you'd like to kind of sum up with? So just to sum up, is there anything about your course or what you've been doing that surprised you?
I'd say the two main things that surprised me one was being online. I thought that being online I was going to struggle and it was actually going to be harder for me. But there was parts of it that I actually found easier. So, for example, with my lecture being online, the PowerPoint's automatically on my phone. I don't have to get the tutor to email it to me across in advance, which they put everything on Moodle at the beginning of the semester. So I don't have to ask them, but it's kind of still like having it on your phone in the lecture's not the same as someone else who sat there just looking at the board, particularly knowing which slide they're on and things like that. So I found that being online meant that I was able to look at the PowerPoint and not worry about what slide we're on, because Zoom does that all for you. And also, with being online, I found that doing a presentation was easier for me because I could see the tutor, like I could see their reaction and their kind of facial expression, where when I'm in a classroom giving a presentation, I can't see their face or can't see their initial reaction.
Yeah, because they're too far. They're the kind of distance and everything is different, isn't it? And you've got a bit more control, I guess, haven't you?
Yeah, a lot more control, and I can zoom in as far as I need to. Sounds a bit weird. And then the other thing that surprised me, I think, was the placements, because it is my favourite part, and I thought I was going to struggle with that, but I found that I can work. It's quite easy to work with the patients, and if there's something I can't see, I can ask them questions that also give me a sort of subtle assessment in my head of their condition as well, which kind of helps.
So you can kind of diversify. You're not stuck with one method of doing things.
No, and it's almost like I'm not straight up asking for help from the patient.
Brilliant, thank you. That's excellent, Abbie, and I do wish you luck this coming year, because it's your final year, isn't it?
And hopefully it's less COVID-y.
Yeah, and hopefully I can come up and visit York and see York and enjoy some time with you as well.
Yes.
Okay.
Hashtag Aniridia Day.